Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into a Monday morning live stream. Currently speaking, decentralized science is the topic of today. We are up millions of dollars over the weekend on decentralized science. In fact, before this weekend, I believe the market cap was sitting somewhere around 500 million. Now we're sitting at $732 million. Today, down 5% from a peaking time frame over the weekend, but this is a beautiful rally in DeSci. Part of the reason that we're seeing such a wonderful rally is to do with Binance shilling our bags. Yes, you heard that correctly. Over the weekend on May 9th, so I guess Friday, we saw Binance posting a simple molecule structure. Now, I believe this molecule was made up. I don't think it is a real molecule. However, it resembles very similarly to antipsychosis drugs. So maybe Binance is hinting at some sort of psychosis partnership. Who knows? Or maybe we're reading a little bit too deep into the woods here. Maybe they just wanted a Binance logo on a molecular structure. But nonetheless, I'm sure all of you guys saw it, especially if you're following the DeSci Shillers list on X, which you should be. Every single DeSci project posted about this over the weekend. Everyone was reposting it, just giving their 2 cents into it and just making sure everyone knew. See, we got Diabetes Dow talking about it. I'm sure we could go to that list and see the sheer number of people who reposted it, but you guys probably already saw it. Y'all are very in tune with the market, so I'm sure you guys know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. How was everyone's weekend? Hopefully you guys had good weekends. Yes, we'll get more in depth on what I think is coming with the shilling of DeSci from Binance. This will be the first time DeSci is rallying where we actually had some large institutional players backing it. Now, we've seen some crazy rallies in the past, but again, this time will be the first time that everyone's familiar with it from Pump Science, from Riff and Euro rallying. They've drawn in a lot of people to the space who kind of left but are now aware of the space. Now we've got Binance potentially shilling it like crazy because they have so much money on the line. I'm excited. You guys should be excited as well. If we go look at some of the main players in the DeSci space, of course, number one up on the list is Agent Bill. Agent Bill is up an astonishing 300%, peaked out up here at just shy of 500%, which is absolutely crazy to see. We saw Noble getting some good life in the chart here over the weekend. So Noble now up over 100% from the lows, which is a fun time. Up 150%, so that's exciting. A lot of these projects are up so much because of how far they had fallen, how small of a market cap they had gotten to. You go look at, where's Research Coin? Research Coin already up to 50 cents. Remember when we saw it break out here and it was pushing up here at 30 cents? I was saying that that was likely the breakout. We might get some more of a little retest, but ultimately it just kept rallying. It's already up nearly 60% from the time that we clearly defined the breakout. So these are not moves that should be ignored. I know that in crypto, everyone's expecting 100%, 500%, 1000% returns in the span of a day or two. Ultimately, the more you can wait for these moves to play out, the more money you can end up getting out of these moves, right? In order to actually play these markets appropriately, most of the time you're going to do nothing. And that's just the way that it goes. If you're making a trade every single day, you're increasing the likelihood that you will actually mess up. And that is not just me saying it. That is a proven fact when it comes to participating in the markets. Most people who make trades every day end up losing money. So the hardest part, but the most profitable thing to do is to do nothing. So yeah, people selling Bill will regret it. I completely agree. Completely agree. I mean, imagine selling it at 2 cents when it's clear as day this thing's going up to $2. You're going to miss out on 100x just because you can't sit on your hands for a little bit of time. That's crazy. Crazy. Sorry, I got a text. Got a business text. Next up, I want to point out Psy having broken out of that range that we defined and starting to put in a higher high. So it absolutely floored and bottomed here, and now it's starting to turn around. It's got a good ways to go to climb back up to all-time highs, but it is broken out now, which is beautiful. Same thing with Eagle AI. Eagle AI looking like it's attempting to break out above its all-time highs here. So Eagle AI, one of those projects that is not in DeSci, but is holding up very, very strong. As far as a reliance on Binance, if we go take a look at Bio's chart here, because you guys know that Bio is the project that Binance has invested millions of dollars into. So Binance has a vested interest in making sure that Bio does well. Bio is kind of that kingpin to all of decentralized science. And so here's the thought process. You guys ready for this? Binance shills Bio. Bio does really well. Bio reclaims all-time highs. In my opinion, that is something that will happen this year. Bio reclaims all-time highs. The degens of crypto, the degen nature within crypto wants to then go further out on the risk scale in order to see how they can get outsized returns. Because while Bio in and of itself is a rather small cap or mid cap company project in the grand scheme of crypto, in DeSci, it is the largest project, right? And so you want to go down the risk curve before all the masses get here and look for plays that you think you could make some beta or some outsized returns on. So Bio is the Y-cometer of the space, meaning they help facilitate launches of other projects. You know that. I know you know that. I'm talking about Athena DAO, Vita DAO, Cryo DAO, Valley DAO, Hair DAO, all those main ones that we know about, but also more recently, Myco DAO, Spine DAO, Rare Disease DAO, right? All those newer ones that are coming out. You can even take it a step further because those DAOs are anywhere from like $500,000 market caps all the way up to a $10 million market cap. So very, very small in this grand scheme of things. But you can take it even further and realize that each one of those DAOs, their main goal is to create IP tokens. This is intellectual property which has been tokenized and put on chain. These are the rights to drugs, basically. And it's a little bit more complicated than that, but basically it's the rights to drugs. So as you go down the risk curve, you're getting smaller and smaller and smaller, but it's all within the Bio protocol family or the Bio protocol ecosystem. And since we know that Binance here is going to be shilling Bio at some point, we know that CZ loves DeSci and AI. We know that Binance is invested into Bio protocol. We know that they will be funneling people into the Bio ecosystem. And so you can front run or position yourself in a way that you can take advantage of these projects being so underpriced. That's why I have the watch list here, which I've shared with you guys a bunch, but the Bio IPTs. Now, not all of them are on this list because Dex Screener will remove them if they don't have high enough 24-hour training volume. But still, you can see these projects are literally $100,000 in market cap. We have Ovaria sitting here at 156,000. These will move really quickly. We have Hempy sitting here at 176,000. These will move very quickly when people realize that DeSci season is back on. And I know that you guys know this, but I wanted to reiterate it for everyone who's watching after the fact or anyone who doesn't know what DeSci is and just clicked onto the live stream because they saw it and they want to know what Binance is investing into. Let's round this up. Let's finalize this rant here. This is the global liquidity on the daily time frame. So this is Europe, Japan, United States, China, all combined into one graph to showcase the global liquidity. This is showing that global liquidity is at $84 trillion right now. And if you zoom in, it has been going up very rapidly here over the last 5 months. This year, global liquidity has just been going straight up. Now, the crypto markets follow global liquidity because the crypto markets were designed to absorb global liquidity as the countries print money and debase their currencies. That money flows into assets. The more they print, the more it will flow into risk on assets. And so as we see the global liquidity putting in all-time highs after all-time highs, that is a good sign that risk on is still a thing. When they're contracting, it gets very risky, or it gets very risky to be in high risk assets. But as they're printing money, it is easier to make money in the markets. WC90, let's go. Appreciate the gifted membership, C90. W, welcome in to the cult, Jambo. Happy to have you. Hopefully you are ready to make some money this year, baby. Let's go. Let's go. There's a lot more to it. And if you only follow global liquidity, you'll probably get wrecked because there's so many other confining variables in trading and making money in the markets that global liquidity, while it is a strong indicator of whether or not we're going to be on a risk on environment, it's not the end all be all. So use it as an indicator. Do not try and trade everything off of it. Yeah, that's my rant though. As long as we continue to see liquidity going up and Binance, Shilling, Bio, I think that we are going to have a glorious rally in DeSci, and I think it is just starting to turn around here. You go look at some of these super risk-on plays, these Bio IPTs, you go look at how much they're already up. Because they're so small, it's already up 110%, but it's only at $176,000 market cap. That's crazy, guys. That is crazy. Dun, dun, dun. People selling Bill will regret it. Hell yeah, they will. Good morning, Rurales. Good morning, MK. What's going on, Beagle? How's it going, Zash? Welcome in, Landon. Happy to see you here, C90. Johnny's here. Beagle's here. I already said Beagle. Everyone is here. Winos is here. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Hit that thumbs up button as you come into the live stream. We go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard, talk about decentralized science. And of course, now is the time, guys. I want you guys to be very aware, okay? Because if you have ever been keen on working for your bags, now is the time to work for your bags. So I posted this in the DeSci Shiller's Telegram, which all of you guys are likely there, but if you're not in the DeSci Shiller's Telegram, it should be linked in the description of the video. But the next leg up is here. Everyone is finally on board with that idea. Everyone is finally, now that we're almost putting at all-time highs for Bitcoin, everyone's finally kind of understanding that the cycle's not over and we're going to be continuing upwards and higher. And not only that, but we have Binance backing our bags. We know that. I just went over it. All of you guys are familiar with this. This is something I talked about in DeSci Shiller's beforehand, but we have DeSci putting in 100% moves plus. We have some of the smaller coins putting in several 100% moves, and it's just getting started. Binance needs DeSci to win. They're in deep with Bio Protocol, and they are laying narratives. They're laying narrative tracks. If you're here now, you're early. If you're active, you're powerful. And if you're loud, you're a leader. So be a leader in the space. We are the ones who are going to shape public perception. Binance is going to bring in people to DeSci, and then they're going to start doing their due diligence and trying to find the projects that are worth putting money into. And we already know which projects are worth putting money into because we've already been putting money into them. And so as those people come into the space, we are here to direct them to the projects that are clear winners. We're here to tell them where they should be focusing, because they're going to be lost and they're going to be looking for influence. They're going to be looking for people to tell them what to do. Hopefully they do their own due diligence and hopefully they agree with us, but we're going to be the ones who really shape the narrative of this space. And so it is a big responsibility, but you need to be out there making noise. I'm saying post about your projects that you're passionate about, engage with them, repost them, share them in the group so that other people can post about them as well. It is going to be a fun several months here, but only if you guys are here contributing to it. So how do you trust other countries like China and India reporting on the money supply correctly? They won't, but you just know that they won't. They also, they're going to report what they want people to believe and what they want people to see, but they're not going to report 100% accurately. Neither does the US government. None of them report 100% accurately. But to be completely honest with you guys, at least in the short term, And 5 or 6 months is the short term. That is a short period of time in the economic cycle. In the short term, it doesn't actually matter how much money is being printed. In the long term, it matters, but in the short term, it doesn't. It matters more the public's perception of how much money is being printed. And so if these indicators are faulty, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that they are consistently faulty and that the people who are paying attention to it, the market participants, don't question how faulty they really are. Does that make sense? Bill Shillers are ready. Let's go. Bought the Hempy bottom. First time I got lucky. Let's go, Jordy. W Jordy. What do you think about Biard? I think Biard's a W. I really do. I think that SciDAO has a lot of potential for growth, a lot of space to move into, and Biard I think is going to be a solid player because SciDAO is a solid player. I don't know too much about the science behind Biard, but I do know that it is one of the main things that SciDAO is going to be pushing, and so I like it. And then same with Hempy. It's ValleyDAO's project. Same with Overia. That's AthenaDAO's project, right? And so you're looking at these, you're seeing that every one of these DeSci plays has one or two main projects, main IPTs that they're going to be pushing. And so it just makes sense that there's not too many options. One of the main things that I wanted to also highlight here is that most niches in crypto have thousands of coins that you have to sift through, right? In DeSci, we got maybe 20 that are worth watching. So while most niches, you got to pick through between like hundreds, potentially even thousands of projects and see which ones are going to be the winners. In DeSci, you can make a portfolio of 20 different projects and you're going to hit most of the main ones. It's pretty awesome. Have you talked to Lake recently? They've been quiet. They have been very quiet. I have not talked to almost anyone recently because I've been so hyper-fixated on Bill. But this week marks the return of the content generating and deal making flow. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. However, one thing I do want to say is that I personally will not be making any more deals with projects. I will not be taking any more paid deals to work with companies, whether that be an advising paid deal or just a KOL paid deal to talk about what they're doing. I don't want to have to think about that. I want to just be able to build and do what I want to do. Bill, however, will be taking paid deals, but I will not. So Bill will be able to remain more objective / it'll be a lot easier. I don't like having to hit certain talking points. I want to be able to talk about whatever I want to talk about. So I just won't be taking any of those anymore, which is unfortunate because that was my main income. And I was super transparent about it with you guys. You guys knew I was being paid by stuff, but can we add more tokens to Bill LP? You can voluntarily add more if you want to, but I don't really know why you would. Bill's got $81,000 in liquidity compared to 387 in FDV. So he's got nearly 2.5 times. He's got like 25%, right? Something like that. We got 81 divided by 387. Yeah, Bill's got 21% liquidity. I don't know why you would want to add more to it, but you can if you want to. Let's go. What's your viewpoint on KTA? Google founder Eric invested here. Let's go see what KTA is. If it's not DeSci, I don't care about it. Kita. $119 million market cap. It has been skyrocketing lately, up very much, up 200%, right? Yeah. Up 200% in the last month, in the last like 2 weeks actually. So that's a bit of a move for me. The last 14 days, it's up 113%. Last 7 days, up 165. That's a little bit too much of a move for me, but Layer 1 designed to unify transactions across different blockchains and fiat payment systems, eliminating the need for costly intermediaries. I think that this is a perfect example of a niche that has thousands of projects that are claiming to do the same thing. And so it's a lot harder to pick the winners. Now, we also have entered into the time frame in the cycle where it's not going to be difficult to pick winners, right? So you can make good money on something like this, especially where it's brand new. It's going to have that attention cycle. And if it has a big founder like Google's founder, Eric, backing it, it will probably do really well. It's at $119 million market cap. So you have to ask yourself, what are some of the competitors in this space at, and how high do we think this one can go? So 119 is, broadly speaking, too large for me to get into. I like them when they're under $50 million, but it doesn't mean you can't make good money on it. It's just not in a niche that I feel like I have a competitive advantage in, and it's at a market cap that's bigger than what I enjoy putting my money into. So not for me, but if it's got a good founder, it is a brand new token, which means people can get super excited about it. Oh, you mean add other DeSci projects? What do you mean by that? So that you could swap between other DeSci projects to Bill? Like BioDAO, they add Bio to all LP they funded. So when Bio is up, other tokens follow. So it's a little bit more interesting for Bio. I'm not against the idea at all. It is, I feel like, going to be a lot of just extra work to do because we have to find people to contribute to the LPs. But the reason that they do that is because you can buy the other tokens in Bio, right? Part of Bio's value proposition is that you can, when you're fundraising, when a DeSci project is fundraising on Bio Protocol's website, like MicroDAO, you can buy MicroDAO in ETH or Sol or Bio tokens. And so they need the liquidity pool for people to get back and forth between those avenues. And so, yeah, you're going to have Bio divided by Myco or Myco divided by Bio because you can purchase tokens with them, right? With that. Now, as far as Bill is concerned, there are no projects or no tokens that you could buy with Bill because it's not like, that's not what his point is. But maybe that's something worth doing in the future. Maybe. Speaking of Bill, my goal today is to get V2 of Bill into the Diamond members chat today. That's my goal. Hopefully we can smash it sometime later today because I have to do some finishing touches and finish building out the report bot so that if Bill makes a mistake, you can report it back to the report bot and we can implement those changes over time. But yes, you heard me correct. Bill should be in the Diamond member chat today so that you can chat with him and talk with him and express your concerns about DeSci to him. Now, Bill knows everything there is to know about DeSci projects. I'll put together a one-pager so that everyone knows what to use Bill for and what not to use Bill for. Bill's not going to tell you what project is next to pop off. Bill's not going to be able to sit there and say the sentiment of around the Spine DAO raise. Not yet, at least. Let me highlight that. Not yet, at least. That should be coming fairly soon. But for now, Bill is a quant. Bill is your research assistant. When you want, what Bill can do is tell you details about what Spine DAO's goals are. If you don't want to read through the entire thing, Bill will be there to act as a quant so that you can know what Spine DAO is actually doing, right? You get to know what are they raising at, how much have they raised, all those types of information. But what you can't do is ask, how will Spine DAO perform after launch? That's not something he's going to be able to tell you, but I'll put together the one-pager. You no longer work with Noble. I do still work with Noble. I'm not taking any new deals. So I am still helping Noble, and I'm still helping Psy, and I'm still helping Kong, and I'm still out there with Dynex above my head out of passion, for the record. I have not made any money off of helping Dynex. But I'll still be helping them and being an advisor for them. I will not be taking on any new ones. From now on, instead of making some sort of deal as an advisor for the project, I will just be charging an hourly rate to talk with them. So, yeah. And since we're on that note, we're coming back. Part of the reason why I left for so long in the content making game was because of a feeling of burnout, right? I had far too many group chats open, far too many people one-on-one messaging me asking for things, far too many projects reaching out and asking for assistance, and nothing really was able to get done, because every day I'd log in to 100+ new messages to respond to. And I was trying to do all of it and make content and build Bill. So I had to stop everything to just build Bill. Now I'm coming back in, making content. I will not be able to message with people one-on-one anymore. Moving forward, if you need to reach me, if you want to talk to me, tag me in the group chat and let's have the conversation in the group chat, in DeSci Shillers, in those investors Discord, in Agent Bill's Telegram. Tag me there and let's talk in those groups, not one-on-one, because I just won't be able to keep up with it. I won't be able to see it, and then I'll end up falling off again. And so to avoid that, we need to just bring those conversations where they're supposed to be, in the forefront, in front of everyone. So that is something that we're gonna have to implement moving forward, is just everyone tagging me and having those conversations in the groups. And it will be good too, because it shows the excitement in DeSci. DeSci Shillers is one of the most known Telegram chats for decentralized science for a lot of those people that are tourists to the narrative. People will come in, check and see how DeSci is doing. I've seen multiple times people saying when they want to check in on DeSci, they come check on DeSci Shillers. And so DeSci Shillers being so quiet is not going to be good. It's going to be part of what we need to do to make sure that everyone knows that DeSci is a big narrative, is being active in that Telegram. And so if you need to contact me there so that we can showcase how powerful of a cult we all are. Slide me that sales sheet so I know how much it's going to cost me to talk about vibrations through time and space. Well, that kind of stuff we'll talk about here regardless. Every day, C90, we shall talk about time and space constantly. My door started shaking, which means that some sort of entity realized that we were talking about secret stuff. It's me on the other side of the glass door right there, like an Interstellar, banging on the door, being like, no, don't do that. Oh, my spine. We need to bring back the raids. Exactly, Beagle. Exactly. We need to bring back the raids. We need to bring back the shillers. The power of the shillers needs to be back here. We need to bring everyone's eyes to DeSci. It is important for our bags. The harder we raid, the harder we shill, the further we can go, baby. Now, I had a bunch of news to talk about today, but I don't know that I'm going to talk about any of it today, just because I feel kind of gross. I'm sweating. Let's go, Wild Africa. Let's go. But speaking of Data Lake, they are still here, which tells me that they're still working. But they've been working a lot on the podcast lately. And so, there you go, May 8th. Our very first Lake.Fund research partner in partnership with MedMatrix has officially concluded. What a ride it's been. Today, we're proud to share the results, reflect on what we've learned, and look ahead to what's coming next. Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah. Let's see what they posted. Read more, Lake.Fund x MedX. By the numbers, 6,000 plus visited Lake.Fund during the campaign, 601 participated in the research pipeline, 26 eligible contributors successfully completed the full research process and significantly supported MedMatrix in improving its AI platform. The project officially ended on April 27th, 2025. The 26 participants not only submitted valid skin lesion photos and completed all questionnaires, but also provided meaningful data that helped evolve the platform. To thank them, thank you. To them, thank you for helping shape the future of community-powered healthcare. So that's really awesome, actually. That's really cool. So they literally just completed a full-scale dermatological AI study on Lake.Fund. So let's go, guys. 6,000 visitors, 600 participants, 26 research contributors, all from Decentralized Science. This is, let's take a second to acknowledge that this is the bottom of activity. They did that through the depths of a bear market that we have not seen in years. That was the most brutal DeSci bear market we've ever gone through. And they did all of that. They got 6,000 visitors, 600 participants, and 26 actual research contributors in the depths of a DeSci bear market. So this is the new floor. That's the new starting point for projects that want to do this. Lake.fun, I think, has got a very bright future. Not just for the IP tokens. Oh my God, my ChatGPT is coming through. Not just for IP tokens, but to reshape how academia conducts scientific research. This is a decentralized standpoint for DeSci. What's your thoughts on pump science? It's starting to pump. I think that pump science is gorgeous. I think that pump science is going to be, pump science is actually the narrative that's going to capture most of the upside return. And that's just being completely honest with you guys. If we look at where the degens were last time DeSci popped off, it was Riff and Euro. So you want to look at these pump science tokens, especially if pump science comes out with its own platform token, which word on the street is that they're going to. You want to look at these and you want to acknowledge them for what they are. They are little lottery tickets to make a disgusting amount of money. $229,000 market cap, and that is a gorgeous chart. That's gorgeous. It died and it's coming back to life here. It's starting to pick up steam quickly here. So yeah, pump science is going to be one that makes a lot of money. A lot of money. You go look at the new ones that come out as well. They are also going to be pumping like crazy. I think that we'll make all-time highs likely this month in some of these projects. Now, will Riff and Euro make all-time highs this month? My gut says no, but you never actually know what's going to happen, right? They're starting to come to life again as well. They've absolutely had that pop, drop, and lock down at disgustingly low valuations. And so these things pumping back up, at least back up to like $100 million market cap. Yeah, I think it's got a very bright future ahead of it, especially as we continue to get more and more and more and more. Have fun. See you soon. What's your thoughts on pump science? Yep. Will you bring back bag owner to homeowner challenge? Good question, Beagle. I have not visited that page in a disgusting amount of time, so we might as well. The problem is that most of what ended up happening, while it was really good at first, right? The bag holder to homeowner. While it was really powerful at first, what ended up happening is that all of the projects I ended up getting into were not really listed on CoinMarketCap. So then I couldn't update any of it. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. The worst performer. Yikes. Holy shit. The truth. Yeah, it's starting to come back to life here a little bit, but we had that initial pump. Remember, for anyone who doesn't know what Beagle's talking about, we started this portfolio challenge back in the beginning of the bull market with $500, and the goal was to turn this into enough money for a down payment on a house. Honestly, for it to have held up this good, for me to have started it with $500 and it still be at $3,500 is pretty cool, considering I literally gave up on it when it started peaking. But we probably do need to rework this and bring it back to life. Bag holder to weekend in air bomb renter. Let's go. We'll bring it back. Why don't we do this, guys? Why don't we do this? Instead of bag holder to homeowner. Actually, no, because I like the name. I want to keep that. I was going to say bag holder to yacht cruise, but I want to take it and go buy a house. I want to take it and go invest in some real estate with it. So I think we'll probably keep that. But we got Eagle AI. We got a lot of cash. The tether position, the $500, was actually my $500 purchase of Bill. And so I bought Bill, and we actually were close to like $9,000 or $10,000, but I couldn't show it. And now Bill obviously crashed and is coming back. So we're probably somewhere around $5,000, not actually down here at $3,500. Then we got Jupiter, which I should change up. Research Coin, which I should add some more to. NFNT, we got Noble, we got Psy, we got Genome, we got Lake, we got Dynex, and then, of course, Lane Wolf. We'll go through. We'll go through it and fix it up. But I have to figure out a different way to do it, because I'm going to put the bio IP tokens and the pump science tokens into the portfolio. And so I won't be able to keep it. Like if I go take $1,000 and spread it out among these 5, do 200 into each of them, I think we'll do really well, right? And then I go to the bio IPTs and I take $1,000 and spread it 200 into each of them. I think that we'll be able to buy a house just with that strategy. $2,000 into the 10 of the altcoins there. If like genuinely, I think that we will be able to exit this cycle with enough money for a down payment on a house. So I'm talking 50 to 70 grand, right? Enough money for a down payment on a house, taking $1,000 and splitting it into these 5 IP tokens and taking another 1,000 and splitting it into these 5 pump science tokens. I think that we will be able to walk away with enough money for a house. Noble is moving. Hopefully it hits 1 cent at least. I think Noble is moving good right now. So let's not jinx it, anyone. Let's not talk about it too much. We got that. No, I'm just playing. It is moving, and it's moving fast. And that is because Noble has just been fundamentally putting in that work and getting better and better and better. So Noble Blocks, even though the chart does not look that good at all, Noble Blocks has been continuing to work every single week, every single day, and they're continuing to be on the forefront of the DeSci space. So like I said, when it starts to move, it's going to move really quickly. And right now, it is starting to move. And so I would be prepared for this thing to really start taking off. Get back up above a penny, and then hold that as support. Like, I think that's going to happen before Ethereum starts breaking all-time highs, is Noble is back here putting in new local highs. Before Ethereum is breaking above $5,000, before it's breaking above, even honestly, 4,000, I think Noble will be putting in highs around 2 cents. Is there any bid agents listed on CMC and CG? There are. I believe Agent Algo's on it. Oh no, there's not. He is not. It's on the trading terminal for CoinGecko. I mean, look at this sucker. You had a giant pop in the AI agents, and then of course a giant drop. And now Agent Algo is probably an easy play as well. Right now, genuinely guys, right now, any chart that looks like this, if you think that the narrative will turn around and people will get back into these types of projects, they are going to go back to all-time highs. Right now, any chart that has an aggressive drop and then is starting to form this type of a structure, it is a golden opportunity play for a push back to all-time highs. And so whether or not it continues higher and puts even higher highs is up for debate, right? But these are solid chart structures. If you see something that looks like this, these things are going to pop when we get that flow of liquidity through the markets. Is it 5K for a CMC listing? So you can request to get listed on CMC for free, but it might take like 3 or 4 months. If you want to fast track it, you have to pay $5,000, yes. Because you have to go through a whole review process to get listed. And so if you want to fast track it, you got to pay that $5 grand, and it still might take a month. Can we do ZTE to get Bill listed on CMC? What is ZTE? Can we donate? Oh, can we donate to get Bill listed on CMC? Okay, you guys want to know the actual special sauce, the stuff that I've not really been talking about too publicly because I didn't want to FUD anything. CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap declined to list Bill because he's too close to BILLNYE, the science guy. They didn't want to take that responsibility or that liability of having listed them. Now, we fall under parity law. We talked to a lawyer. We know that we do fall under parity law and that we're good to go with it. But I've toyed with the idea of doing a relaunch of the token to not have it be BILLNYE so that we can get listed on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. I've toyed with the idea. I'm not 100% certain on it, and I'm not sure how you guys would feel about it, but it would take care of two things. One, we could then get listed on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, and two, we could actually be tagged on X when people talk about us. Because right now the ticker is 7 long, which means we don't glow blue. But if we can get it down to 6, we can glow blue, right? Delete this recording. No! Yeah, that's kind of my thought process on it. We could do a whole relaunch party and gain a lot of excitement for it. We saw Stacy Sport do a relaunch and everything went pretty smoothly. We've seen several projects do relaunches and it's kind of hit or miss, but that's my thought. It wouldn't be a relaunch of everything, but it would be a relaunch of the ticker so that we could get listed. C90 says not really a fan of it initially, kind of dislike it. I know. To be completely honest, guys, we don't really need CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap to do well. We don't really need that. Most people now, thanks to Pump Fun, are familiar with Dex Screener and how it works. And so I don't know that we totally need to be on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, but I'm interested in hearing everyone's opinion. Wild Africa says do it. David says that's a tough question. It is a tough question. The other thing to keep in mind and that we could discuss is if we did decide to do a relaunch, we could relaunch on Solana. Maybe. Because Creator Bid now has cross-chain features where we might be able to launch on Solana if you guys wanted to do that. And that would open the door to some extra liquidity for sure, because most people are on Solana, right? You go look at some of the biggest meme coins, they were not listed on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap when they took off. And so you don't need it, but it is nice. What about liquidity hitting the market? For me, the agreement with China is a good thing because Powell was scared of those tariffs. I agree, Marvin. The deal that just took place, but the tariff deal, if you guys are not familiar with it, we can talk about it in more depth after this discussion on Bill. But that trade deal was definitely very good to get rid of the pain and suffering that was caused from Liberation Day. So it is definitely going to be a spark that drives the market higher. I mean, it already is driving the market a lot higher. But at the end of the day, the pain that was coming from the tariff deal, the pain that was there in the market was actually pushing the Fed closer to a rate cut. So now that this pain is looking like it's being dissolved, a lot of the odds of a rate cut just got eviscerated. Like, let's go out to July on the rate cut decision maker, and we saw that a week ago the market had 56% certainty of a rate cut happening by July. Now it's down to 39%. We go look at June, and we go look a month ago, even a week ago, there was a 27% chance we'd get a rate cut. Now it's virtually zero. So this trade deal, while it's good for markets right now, it is making it look like the rate cut might not happen now until honestly September or October, which low key could line up that the rate cut ends up being the top of the market. Everyone thinks that the rate cut will ignite the euphoric bull run, but if the rate cut doesn't come until October, maybe even December, I think it might mark the top of the market, and the rate cut might happen because the economy is crumbling and absolutely collapsing. So bear that in mind, that a rate cut honestly might end up being super bearish, and that this trade deal is postponing the rate cut. CB on Solana. If you relaunch it, it should be off of Creator Bid like Sport did, IMO. Gives you more flexibility and less restrictions. See, now we're getting even more thought process, because I kind of like being on Creator Bid because we can actually utilize their token structure and ride the attention cycle that Creator Bid is going to get. Right? You go look at creator.bid, and if we get that attention cycle, Bill being listed, okay, how is it that Bill is number 10? Huh? Top 50 agents, and Bill's not even in the top 10? What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with us? How come we're not listed in the top 10? WTF? Like, Bill being on the top endorsed agents here, right here at number 7, is good for attention, right? That's really good for attention. So he's got a lot of endorsed. Bullish. Bullish. The best time is now to change the name during low prices. I agree. If we're going to do it, we got to do it in the next week or so. If we're going to do it, we got to do it in the next week. Especially where I'm going to be putting MVP, well, it's not MVP, but I'm putting V2 of Bill into the Diamond member group today, which I would love if all of you guys would be there for later today. I'll stir up some noise and make sure everyone's paying attention before I do it, but I'm going to try and finish up all the final touches so that he can work smoothly, and then put him into the chat so that you guys can talk with him and see his newfound knowledge. Again, he's scraped over 50,000 pages of documentation on DeSci projects, and so he now is very familiar with the fundamentals behind a lot of projects. And so I want to put him in the chat and see how he does. And then after that, I've already started ideating and working on the next phase. And the next phase, I think you guys are going to be very excited about, because that's when we start making partnerships. The only thing I'm going to say is, do you remember when drugs was going viral? Was that drug at the top? No. Do you remember when drugs was starting to go viral and everyone was donating money from their projects into drugs' treasury in order to just be listed and researched on? Right? When everyone, like, it was over here, and they said, if you give us 1 to 10% of the supply of your project, we will do a research report on you guys. And people in communities started just doing that. It was like the stamp of approval of drugs. We're going to take something very similar and give it to Bill. Only Bill is actually going to be the one doing it, and it's going to be significantly more powerful than what drugs was doing. Drugs was not really doing too much, actually. It was just like a way to gain exposure for projects because everyone was looking at them, so they were riding off that virality, right? We're actually, I think, going to put something together that if a project does not partner with Bill, does not incorporate Bill's technology, it's going to be a bit of a red flag in my eyes. In my opinion, it's going to be a little bit of a red flag if, after we release this next feature, projects don't partner with Bill. So it's going to be cool. What would be the new name of Bill? Probably just Bill. I don't think we would change a single thing. I think all we would do is remove the NY, right? So it'll be Bill the DeSci guy. New ticker, Bill, right? That way we don't have to get that flag when we say, oh, it's Bill Nye the DeSci guy. We'll just be Bill the DeSci guy. But we won't change the photo. We won't change any of that. The AI won't change his personality. He'll still just be Bill Nye the DeSci guy, but we'll remove the Nye so that we can get on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Giving Bill drugs. Sorry, that's all I heard. It's true though. We would love to give Bill drugs. Bill has a nice pop when you advertised on Deck Screener. Yes, it was good. Bill did have a good pop when we advertised on Deck Screener. We also tried to coordinate the advertisement. Damn, why are you guys tanking it? Why are you guys tanking the price? As soon as we start talking about new features and changing the ticker, this person who's been clearly DCAing down is getting out as we start to pop. What an L move. It was one of you guys in the live stream too, which is pretty funny. You guys clearly didn't like the idea of rebranding it. It was funded by Coinbase, so they don't want people knowing who it is. They got stuff to hide, baby. Let's see how much more Bill they have. They got 0.2 of Bavaria. They have 8,500. They have 852,000 BR'd. Okay. Do they have any more Bill? It doesn't look like they have any more, Bill. Are you ready for this? Let's go ahead and scroll up earlier. Winos says, what do you think about Biard? And all of a sudden, this wallet holding a shit ton of Biard starts dumping Bill. Interesting, Winos. Interesting. After all that time in the Telegram chat being such an avid supporter, you're gonna dump. No confirmation. I can't confirm if that's actually him. I'm just playing, guys. I'm just playing. It wasn't even just him. It was this guy who really did most of it in 5 minutes ago. And they bring it in from Mayan Swift. Also trying very hard to hide who they are. No, let's not bully Winos. We don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. I know. I was upset, Solus, when I saw that Winos is the one who asked about Biard. I was kind of upset because then I had to go through with the joke anyways, but I couldn't actually, like, I know Winos is a real one. I know that for a fact. I've seen him in the chat consistently regardless as to what's going on. But yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. All right, guys, I might cut it. Unless you guys have some more things you want to discuss, more things to address, I want to really highlight to you the importance of us being here as a united front to push forward the grand mission of decentralized science. Just like I said in the Telegram group before going live, like, what we have right now is a strong opportunity to be the ones who set this narrative on fire. We are going to be the ones who really make the difference, right? DeSci's back, let's move. After 4 long months of bleeding, the shift is finally here, and it's moving fast. ETH is up over $1,000 from the bottom. Solana has climbed nearly 100. These are signals. Most of our bags are built on these L1s, and that when they fly, our ecosystems explode. Now, a closer look. Binance, one of the biggest players in crypto, is suddenly talking about DeSci again. It's not a coincidence. They've poured serious capital into Bioprotocol, and they need this space to run. They've got skin in the game, and that molecule they posted last week, it's spelled Binance for a reason. I know it's a little bit of a stretch here, but it's not, because they also posted that DNA thread. They have a lot of money in the game, and knowing that CZ is so bullish on decentralized science gives me the confidence to be able to read between the lines. This is how we identified that they were going to invest in Bio before it was announced, because we were reading between the lines. And that's what gave me the confidence to put in tens of thousands of dollars into the Bio pre-sale before it was confirmed, back when they were raising at an $85 million market cap. And then they launched it at like a $4 billion market cap. And that type of return comes with the confidence like this. Right? What you should be doing right now, audit your bags. What's moving? What's not moving? Are they still building? Is it worth still holding? If something's not moving, but they're continuing to build, it's probably a good time to get in right now. If something's up dramatically, you should probably reward it, right? Reposition intelligently. If you've been stacking your conviction bags the last month, if you haven't been stacking your conviction bags the last month, you're already behind, right? You need to double down on where the builders are active, what roadmaps are alive, and what communities are growing. Take your role seriously. We're early. The DeSci Shillers are the narrative architects. As Binance funnels attention into DeSci, our job is to shape the perception and direction people and direct people towards the winners. Be loud, be clear, be smart. Memes, threads, engagement, show up daily, speak in public, tag projects, post charts, answer questions. Be here as much as you possibly can to ensure that the next wave is a wave that you benefit from the most. You need to work for your bags, and I hope you guys are ready, because this is about to get really exciting. Really, really exciting. And W Winos. W Winos. I appreciate it, boss. I know that you were not the one selling. I just had to go through with the joke anyways. Do not send Bill, or Patrick sends his goons on you. Do not sell Bill. Exactly. Exactly. No selling Bill. Not until he's up at $5. You hear? We are on a mission. We are on a mission to get Bill to $5. It doesn't make sense to sell them at 2 cents. It just doesn't, really. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing into. And I will see all of you in the groups, in the Telegram, in the Discord. Tomorrow I will be flying to New York, and so I will not have a live stream tomorrow, but I will still be putting out some content. So get ready, because it's go time, baby.